Jack State and Wichita State ready to go in the national championship. Our format tonight, a Baker format, where 5 bowlers from each team will bowl twice over the course of a 10-frame match. Best of 7. Could be a 4-0 sweep, could be 4-3, and we could be here for a while. And I'm telling you, these two teams are electric. As we look at our starting lineups, you'll notice for Jack State, no seniors on this team, but don't ignore the fact that there are 2 freshmen. Those are 2 of the premier players anywhere in the country. We're going to get started with a terrific young lady, Erin Klemensick. She'll throw the first shot of this national championship. Erin lets it fly, and we are underway tonight. Hits the pocket almost perfect and leaves a ringing 10.
Leaves the 10 pin on the first shot. Love that Erin leads off. She is a steady Eddie. She's the one that you look at, fundamentals from point A to point B, perfect, rock solid. Good lane read for her team, able to tell them lane is hooking more, lane isn't.
On the flip side, Wichita State, a gritty team that has figured out a way to just stare adversity in the face and say, I don't care, I'm going to get it done anyways. They've been incredible this week. Ashton Woods lets it fly, trying to get off to a good start, and we have identical starts. Oh, hits the ringing 10 and drops it over.
Well, we saw a lot of that this week, especially in the last match against Vanderbilt. Those pins come across the deck slowly. Watch this. Give it just the tap. Into the back it goes.
Jack State goes quickly back to work and converts the 1-pin spare. So a good start for Klemensick. Carolyn, I have to imagine that avoiding open frames is mission critical tonight.
Yeah, one of the things you really want to focus on in Baker is filling frames. When you change up your lineup, it's what is it actually calling for? Is the other team striking a lot? Or if the lanes are a little difficult, is it about filling the frames? That should be your main goal, and then you weed in, you know, players that can do either or, better or not, into the lineup.
Emma Yoder connects with a perfect shot, and she strikes in the 2nd frame for Jack State.
And what I love about Baker is you get 2 shots. First player, first frame, 6th frame, second player, 2nd frame, 7th frame. 2 shots, you better make them your best.
Morgan Klein, a sophomore from Myerstown, PA. She's known Holly Harris, the head coach here at Wichita State, since she was 12 years old, living her dream. She leaves a tough split here in the 2nd frame. I think it's worth mentioning early on, dealing with some of the nerves of playing both on this stage and on a TV show.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you a little something about Morgan, though. In today's match, Morgan actually was in the lineup, was taken out of the lineup, went down to the practice pairs, was practicing, came back into the lineup, and I'm not sure she ever missed after she came back in. So smart move on Coach Holly's part on making that decision. Going for the spin. Gets to the left of the 2-pin, moves the 10. Early open for Wichita State.
So an advantage for Jack State when we get a chance to see the first of their 2 unbelievable freshmen. Caitlin Stull from Raleigh, North Carolina, one of 4 first-team All-Americans on this Jack State roster here this year, an absolute superstar who strikes with a brilliant beginning.
And again, one of the most decorated youth bowlers entering the collegiate scene. Jack State is known for their great recruiting, and the wonderful thing about this is a lot of these ladies bowled with each other in Team USA or youth events, so they're very comfortable around each other.
Alicia Oden right on cue. Her first shot in this national title match. Knocks down all 10.
Alicia Oden was the key to Wichita State getting here today. They went to a best-of-7 match earlier today against Vanderbilt. Every time she needed to step up, it was a strike.
This young lady, tough as nails. Annalise O'Brien from Ball Ground, Georgia. 2-time first-team All-American, leaves the 10 pin. twice won junior gold. Annalise O'Brien has been dynamite this weekend as she goes against the only senior in the Shocker lineup, Paige Wagner. It's a fly, and so far that 10-pin for both teams been a little pesky.
Been a little stubborn. Now, one thing the people watching don't know, we're bowling on the low end of the bowling center. The matches for the weekend were in the middle of the bowling center, towards the higher end. So, as anyone who bowls knows, each part of the bowling center does play a little differently. So it may be a little different down here. We were already seeing some of the flat 10. Again, that also could be, again, nerves. We're just starting out. Lanes are going to transition every time a ball goes down the lane. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust.
With the open frame in the second, Wichita State's a little bit of a hole here, and they miss another one. A really tough start for the Shockers.
One of the keys against Jack State is you cannot give them an opportunity, because they will step on the gas pedal and run you right over. So Wichita State, you saw them talking as soon as she came off the lane, maybe telling a little bit of, calming the nerves. You'll see first shot.
Gianna Brandolino has a really tough opening shot. Goes
right through the middle, leaving a makeable split. She'll go for the baby split on the right to slide it over.
Sara Duque Jimenez from Medellin, Colombia. Young lady who had to try out for the team when this was a club sport. Has come such a long way in a short period of time, and now she's as reliable as anybody at Wichita State. Strikes in a big moment. Let's see if the National Player of the Year, National Rookie of the Year can compose herself. Gianna lets it fly and hits just 1 of 4. So maybe a little bit of nerves for both teams in this opening frame in the national championship match. Jacksonville State, Wichita State, feeling each other out here early in this best of 7 in Cleveland. Halfway through the opening game in this best of 7 at Yorktown Lanes, about 10 miles south of downtown Cleveland. Carol, let's take a look at the oil pattern for the night here on 2 lanes that we have not bowled yet here this weekend.
Very interesting, 43 feet, 30.01 milliliters. We have a double oil here, terrain with glide. What that does is terrain holds up. It actually slows the ball down just a little bit in that front part of the lane. That glide allows the pattern to hold up just a little bit longer, which is why the ladies were able to play a little bit further right for longer than normal before the pattern started to break down into the track.
Erin Klemencic, after a 9-pin and then a spare in her first shot of the night, answers second one a perfect strike. Ashton Woods now trying to respond for Wichita State, throws a Brooklyn shot and leaves herself a picket fence.
Ball speed looked just a little bit slow on that shot. Leaves herself a 3.610.
I think it's worth pointing out here there's 2 very different styles, right? Jack State, high revolution, high velocity in the way they throw. This is a bit more of a finesse team from Wichita.
I think so. I mean, they definitely have a couple of players that are a little bit lower rev rate, which I think played to their favor. Again, could stay a little bit on top of the pattern, stayed further right for longer before moving into the track. State, like, their thing is, yes, we can play to the right, but as the lanes break down, really, it's very tough to beat them because that's their bread and butter.
Nice conversion there for Ashton Woods as we look at our Jack State keys to the match.
Absolutely. Patience, execution, and connection. Very important. Take one frame, at a time. Execute to the best of our ability and remain connected with each of your team members.
Emma Yoder, the lone lefty wearing black tonight, strikes in the 7th. Jacksonville State with a double.
Wichita State staying on our side of the ball return. That was kind of unique, and I'll talk about that one. Staying present right there in the moment, keeping it light. They like to talk where they laugh a little bit, even if it's a stressful situation, but staying on their side of the ball return. It was almost as if what she said was, Coach Holly, was we need to remember we're focused on this lane, this shot, this moment. Not what we're going to do when we go to the next lane, not what the other team is doing. So it was kind of a unique way of putting it. Great shot by Morgan.
Yeah, Holly Harris said, we train for this. We are ready for this. We will be at our best tonight. As the freshman Stone lets it fly, catches that head pin a little too flush. It's a little bit of a break on knocking over the 6.
So this is what you saw definitely on Friday and today as well, a little more tapered. You could play further right, but you had to be a little bit straighter through the front. Your break point was that 3, 4, 5. Then it moved in today to the break point was more about that 6, 7. There wasn't as much hole to start. Yes, you had a little bit more area to the right, but right now the lanes are transitioning. Jack State is playing just a little bit further left. I'm going to see if they make a little bit of a move here because I think they need, as usual, to make the move and see what happens. They have the talent to do it.
That would look like it didn't hook quite as much as Kate wanted at the end. Hung up, and she leaves an open frame in the 8th. This game is still anybody's contest. Wichita State. They lost yesterday morning, went into the losers bracket. They fell to Arkansas State. I beg your pardon, fell to Vanderbilt and then beat Arkansas State in the afternoon as Annalise O'Brien composes herself. Delivers a perfect hit right on cue.
As you can see, Annalise got that ball just a little bit further right down lane to about that 7 board down lane, creating a little bit of area. Smooth ball reaction.
Big shot on the way. It's perfect.
Much better shot by Paige. You're going to see the difference. Now, where this is going to be key, where you're going to, here we have the max score, Wichita State 216, Jack State 208. Where it's going to be key is when they switch lanes. Wichita has played the lanes a little bit straighter. Jack State is a little bit further left. You're going to need to read the lane and make the adjustment.
Both these teams trying to finish strong. Gianna Brandolino delivers in a big way after her first throw was kind of a disaster. She's able to strike on her first in the 10th. Wichita needs double in the 10th for the win. Great start from Sara Duque Jimenez.
Not much emotion out of Sarah. She just wants to get the job done. Very simple. A little bit of lower rev rate, but here's the thing about that. She throws it the same every time, and she's, and my God, she's accurate as heck.
Brandolino steps into a big moment with confidence on the way, right on the money. Had to have it.
Those 2 shots are the reason Jack State is leading this tournament. They make the adjustments quickly, and their team repeats.
Sara Duque eyeing it. Curls down the lane, right on target. Wichita State, a 5-bagger with still 1 to play. Brandolino trying to work on her rhythm. She's got to know they're going to need her in a big way as this moves along, and she scores with a perfect 3 straight.
Made the adjustment just a little too late. Wichita State will take this first game with the strike, 216.
How about these shots? Jacksonville State is a ridiculous 102-10 this season. But maybe the only team that's had their number is the one they got to get through in this national title match. And it's the Shockers off to a fast start. We will have a new national champion in 2026. Will it be the first NCAA title in Shocker history or the second for Jacksonville State? As head coach Holly Harris looks on. 2nd year leading the program in the NCAA, but the 8th year as the head coach of this program overall. of course, competed as a club team. They have won 11 intercollegiate team championship national titles, most recently 2 years ago. This is the preeminent power in college bowling. But they're missing a spot in their trophy case, Karen. They need a national championship wallet and bronze.
Correct. And here's the thing, and we always forget to say this, Holly Harris is an accomplished bowler herself.
Heck yeah.
A very good bowler. I always like to give that shout out because we always forget to mention that. But it will, if it doesn't happen here, it will be only a matter of time until Wichita State wins an NCAA title. It could happen here tonight. I would not doubt it, trust me. But it will happen.
And Clemencic delivers a strike after Ashton Woods knocked over 9.
So great shot by Ashton. She moved a little left. Again, Jack State played a little bit further left than Wichita did on the right lane. Ryan also in practice was hitting some balls with surface. I think here it seems as if the back ends seem a little tighter than they did. Yep, than they did. But again, different end of the house, the lights, nerves. There's a lot that can go into exactly what your shot making is, number one. But it does look like the back ends are a little bit tighter on this pair.
Just to put a bow on Holly Harris from northern Minnesota. She came to bowl at Wichita State 2010, did her undergrad, and she said, I thought I wanted to teach. Then I went into a classroom my junior year and totally panicked. Realized I didn't want to teach in a classroom. I got a math degree because it was the fastest thing I could do. And then, almost like a bit of a calling, assistant coach Mark Lewis was her head coach at the time. He said, come on out, help me out. And she found out after all these years, you know what, I love teaching after all. I just need a different classroom.
I was just going to say she is teaching, and teaching a lot of different subjects, not just bowling. It's a lot to go into being a head coach. Everybody thinks it's an easy job. It is not.
Yoder right on cue. Jack State starts back-to-back.
I expected her to get lined up rather quickly, as she is. We definitely more right-handed bowlers, obviously, and with the left, they were able to stay on top of the pattern a little bit longer, not make moves as fast or needed to make moves really at all, maybe just ball up, ball down. So you'll see the right-handers probably move a little bit more.
We have a lineup change here. Paige Wagner moves up into the 3 spot and delivers with a perfect shot. Alicia Oden will move from 3rd to 4th here in game 2. Wichita State so far seems like the right move. All right, Caitlin Stull trying to step up and give Jack State some real momentum early in this game. Hits it a little high, but still worked out front.
Interesting, still great ball motion. Jack State still bumping that track just a little bit further left than we even saw some of the ladies playing earlier today. But again, talented teams going to make the adjustments probably a little bit quicker. You only have so many games tonight, so you've got to make those moves quick and make good shots.
Oden, tough break, 7, just doesn't fall. So Jack State will try to pounce on the Shockers here and give the ball to a true superstar in the making. This young lady will be bowling for a long time. Annalise O'Brien. What a delivery. 4 in a row for Jack State to start the second.
I love the method to the madness. Both teams using bowling balls that actually read that middle part of the lane just a little bit more of that stronger arc motion into the pocket. Nothing that gets down the lane too far and hooks a lot on the back end. Controlling the pocket, and that was very key this weekend.
Need a little body English on that, just barely grazing that 7-pin. Loved the sheepish grin there as Alicia caught just the outside. So Wichita State, much like they did in the first game, playing a little bit from behind. They came back and won that first game to take a 1-0 lead in this national championship best of 7. And now they're putting the ball in the hands of their most consistent star, Sara Duque. Stares it down, lets it fly. Looking good, hits the pocket. Perfect.
So one of the great things, you're looking, you're seeing a lot of different styles out here. You're seeing left-handers, you're seeing majority of right-handers. Higher rev rate, lower rev rate, all able to get the job done. That's the key in bowling. Match your game up to what you need to do to make that productive. Don't try to be something that you're not.
Gianna Brandolino, all she knows how to do is throw strikes. I cannot believe her first shot in this national championship knocked on over 6 pins. She has rebounded quite well. Jack State, game 2. So far, so good as they lead the Shockers. Jacksonville State on the move with 5 straight strikes to open the second after dropping the first game 1-0 here. Jacksonville State led by the great Shannon O'Keefe, and for as impressive as her playing career has been, 15 wins, 3 majors, 3-time PWBA Player of the Year. My favorite thing statistically, if you want to think about it this way, about her, she and her husband Brian, their assistant coach, they have had 10 recruiting classes between their time at McKendree and now at Jack State. And every single kid that they've recruited between those 2 schools has won a national championship. That is completely crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. There's so many different things you look at when you're going to college. Do I want a great education? Do I want to be a better bowler? Do I want bowling to be my career? Am I looking for a school that has my major? I mean, there's so many things. Look at that. Woo! From the back. We saw a lot of that today. These pins fall. Let's pick a word for today. These pins fall quirky. That's my word. Look at this. Right here. Shimmy. Tap it. Here we go. I mean, we saw light 710s go backwards. We saw them go forwards. It just was amazing to carry.
Gamecocks. Oh, that one did not snap nearly enough. Makeable spare here, but a rare miss. So Aaron Klemencic out of Powder Springs, Georgia. 2-time first-team All-American. Going to need to have a good spare conversion. By the way, again, to put a bow on Shannon O'Keefe, she was named the National Coach of the Year, and she told me how grateful she was that because it's a sign of respect from her peers, but she said, I don't do this to win awards. I want to pour into my kids and create the coolest experience that they can. You're only as good as your players are, and she is certainly proud of the team that she's got, including this young lady right here. Takes care of business.
Absolutely, and backing on that statement I was making, if you want to learn about the sport of bowling, Jack State is at the top of the class. I mean, you have to admit that. The record speaks for itself, as well as the 2 coaches and their record as well, personally. So you have it all right there.
He's been amazing in his coaching career as well as Morgan Klein delivers.
I'll tell you, she has rebounded. Morgan Klein, a little off on Friday, in and out of the lineup. And boy, I'll tell you, later today, excellent. And right now, making great shots for her team.
Need the lefty to get it going. Oh, boy. Knocks down 9. Jack State with this electrifying start. And they slowed up a little bit here.
One thing I think was crucial with this pattern was speed control. If you threw the ball just a little bit too hard, it skated right through the middle part of that lane, which would be the arrows and maybe 15, 20 feet past there. It skated just a little bit too far, leaving that flat 10, 2-pin. Yet, if you were too slow, it picked up too soon. So speed control was very touchy on this pattern.
Emma Yoder converts the spare. This is a young lady who is the only non-first-team All-American in this lineup for Jack State, but her numbers are as good, if not better, than most of those teammates. She just didn't have enough frames to convert herself in those national rankings because, as a lefty, she didn't play all the time, but she's been an incredible force in Baker. And then when Stoll backs her up, look out. Back-to-back spares for Jack State as Kate Stoll Stares it down confidently and delivers. The Gamecocks cruising here in game 2. Still within reach for Paige Wagner and Wichita. Nicely done.
Doing their little cheer, using her strike ball to shoot at the 2-8.
A little different when you're dancing on TV.
Yeah, I guess so. Here she goes. There you go. Especially after you make the spare, right? She wouldn't have been dancing if you didn't make the spare.
You gotta hear me out.
Jack State right now with a small lead.
You gotta hear me out.
They still have O'Brien and Brandolino. All right, Odin leads us off here in the foundation frame. Excellent shot, looks good, and it leaves a makeable but frustrating split.
Looks as if she got that ball just a little bit to the right, missed just a little right of target, leaving a pocket split.
Can O'Brien make it hurt? And Elise, get the messenger. Oh, it didn't fall. She leaves the 10 and an opening there for the Shockers.
It seems on this end of the house, as the pins are coming across the deck, you'll see coming in just a little half pocket. Pins going in front. She gets one.
So another open frame there for Wichita State as O'Brien tries to hone in on the 10 pin. How calm and collected she is, and just stares it down and converts.
Both programs, as well as all the programs that I know of, do so much of the mental training now to make sure, you know, the camaraderie is good, the team chemistry is good, as well as knowing how to prepare yourself for each shot.
Hit them both. Oh, man. Sada Duque couldn't quite hit that right 10 pin.
So that's right there where you see the back ends are a little bit tighter here. A lot of balls are coming in half pocket. Using smoother balls all weekend, as the lanes transition, they may start to go to balls that are a little bit cleaner with a little bit more back end. Just looks a little too smooth, not getting through the pocket.
Brandolino and company have won game 2. So Jack State's going to tie this up as we play out the 10th frame. And if you're Brandolino right now, knowing that late in the game, if it does come down on your shoulders, you got to figure out the right rhythm. Sada Duque is feeling the same bit of weight. Wichita State, they have been in these punch and counter punch moments all weekend.
So this is a fill shot. The game is over. I talk about this a lot. I like trying something on the fill shot. It's changing balls, moving on the lane. More than likely we can be changing balls right now. I think both teams are playing the lanes that are conducive to their team lineup. So they're all lined up. So it would just be a ball change.
Nice little smile there for Brandolino. Grew up about 45 minutes or so outside of Chicago. And it looks like she is going to change balls here. To your point, you got a chance, game's over, let's just go see what we can do here.
I like that because I think it allows you to be ahead of a move that you may have to make here in a few frames. So might as well, it's an educational guess.
One of the things that's really helped Jack State in big moments, their entire roster has TV show experience. This is not new to them. Brandolino just absolutely stares it down and throws 3 straight rockets. 246, 213. Jack State takes care of Wichita State and levels us up in this best of 7 in our national championship. Gamecocks and the Shockers putting it all on the line tonight, chasing championship glory in the rock and roll capital of the world. Jacksonville State University won the national title 2 seasons back, runner-up last year, played in the ITCs against Wichita State last year. The two heavyweights in this sport head-to-head for the national title. If you joined us late, I'm Brendan Gulick alongside PWBA Hall of Famer Carolyn Doran-Ballard. Carolyn, perhaps the most remarkable story in collegiate bowling this year. Jack State, not once, but twice, broke the all-time win streak record. They had 42 wins in a row, lost to Wichita State, and then won another 28 in a row. They start this game with a 9 pick.
You know, I said it in the beginning. They really didn't do anything wrong. I know that sounds so simple and so, I guess, I don't know, like odd to say, but it was everything they did was right. Their moves on the lane, their ball choices, their lineups. It just, everything clicked and meshed together. And the key is that team buys in to what the coaches put forth. And it showed out on the lanes. I mean, you don't break records by luck. You just don't.
Jack State trying to get off to a good start here, and they at least convert a one-pin spare. You know, the interesting thing, I think, about the mentality coming in, both these teams know they've got all the capability in the world of getting this done. But there's some element of you have to control what you can. You can't really play defense. Is that going to hit them all? Barely. Raises.
That's how she made her spare earlier, the 3-6-10 from the outside. Ball just going a little bit high.
Ashton Woods out of Santa Rosa, California, only knocks down 8 in the opening frames. Emma Yoder steps in with a hot hand for JSU. Boy, would we mean to bring another national title to Jacksonville, Alabama. Yoder is the lady for the moment.
So if you look at Emma, she has a towel in her right hand. Did everybody notice that? She has a towel in her right hand. Why? Because it's used for her to key in on keeping that right arm in front just a little bit longer before she releases the ball.
Wichita State pretty desperately needed a response, and they get it here. Nice shot. Right on target for Morgan Klein. 4 in a row for her.
And that's a great shot right there. First of all, great shot by Morgan, making the adjustments and executing. This is the best I've seen her bowl today and tonight than she has. So she's worked really hard on making sure she can repeat. But did you see her talking to her teammate, giving her information on what she did on the lane? That is key.
Kate Stull catches the nose of the head pin just a little too flush. Leaves herself with a frustrating but makeable split. As Wichita State sees a little opening here. Paige Wagner. All right on the money, and the Shockers with their first response after a little bit of trouble for them. Stull trying to avoid a dreaded early open frame. Throws it as hard as she can and only connects on one. Maybe a bit surprising because of her stature, but there might only be a couple bowlers in the country that can throw it harder than Kate Stull.
I don't know, some of these young athletes, it's amazing at what they can do, let me tell you. Usually go for, you know, the 2, but ball just skidded by. So we got the 1. See what Annalise does on this shot.
Jack State needs some momentum. Annalise O'Brien ready to rock.
Seems like she moved just a little bit left based on what she saw on the lane.
Wichita State. Oh, yeah. 10 up, 10 down for Alicia Oden. A 3-bagger for the Shockers. Brandolino and Sara Duque Jimenez certainly going to factor in a big way tonight. Brandolino's been way better since that very first shot of the night. Hasn't missed since then. And keeps the rhythm going.
That's what makes Jack State so strong is, yes, they make a few mistakes, but instantly make the move and catch up with the double.
This young lady is just incredible. Came to Wichita State by way of 2 previous Columbian-born players and bring them to the program. Gets a little messenger fight into the 7. Wichita State, 4 straight perfect shots, and they've got the lead halfway through game 3. Jack State, Wichita State, heavyweight fight in the national title. A national championship title match that has been worthy of the stage so far. Wichita State on fire after that bad start to this 3rd game. Jack State, Carolyn, trying to hang in.
Yeah, trying to hang in. That's that's not what many people say about Jack State. But we knew this was going to be a competitive match. They have both bowled excellent all weekend. It's just who's going to make the adjustments the quickest and get some luck on their side. That was perfect timing right there. Yes. And we saw a ton of that. I'm going to go back. That carry was so, what was the word I used?
Quirky.
Quirky. I'm telling you, that was the 410.
Ashton Woods doesn't get quite the same good fortune.
That's right. That was a much better shot. Kept her ball speed up, moved a little bit left. Much better shot by Ashton.
So I mentioned it earlier, Jack State 102-10. They've only lost once the second half of the year. It came to Wichita. Wichita actually handed Jack State 2 of their 10 losses this year. The other team that was a thorn in their side was another Final Four team, Arkansas State. Jack State was 7-3 against the Red Wolves this year. We've got the young ladies to do it. And Woods stares it down, knocks it home.
Changes to her spare ball to shoot at the 10 pin. Like it had eyes, like it had eyes. This was a strong Final Four. This was a strong Final Four. I mean, you have, Vanderbilt, Jack State, Wichita, and I think Arkansas State. We were just talking about them.
Yeah, it truly felt like an open tournament. Maybe there were a lot of folks around the country that Jacksonville State was going to run away with it because of this record. But these other 3 teams are truly elite college bowling teams. Now, if Emma Yoder keeps doing that, Jack State's going to be the team to beat. But Wichita State's been great.
I mean, when you're able to shoot 300, I mean, you know, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's okay.
Not what Morgan Klein had in mind.
Got that one way right down the lane. Now, as the weekend progressed, and the ladies actually moved a little bit left of that outside line, when I'm talking outside, that 3, 4, 5, as they moved left and missed right, there wasn't recovery as there was the first day. So it was, you really had to play it where you felt most comfortable, where you could get to the pocket, and then it was either ball up, ball down to decide how you wanted the ball to get through the pocket.
You didn't have to really think about what Morgan Klein was feeling. That was the facial expression of the weekend as she throws her spear shot right on target.
True.
Yeah, head, shoulders, knees, and toes to celebrate? Okay, sure. Try to get Paige Wagner dialed in as Caitlin Stoll says, okay, even Stevens through 7. Jack State feels like they have an advantage whenever the game is this close. Good approach, great form, and a perfect strike. Caitlin Stoll delivers for the Gamecocks.
Here comes Jack State again. You need to keep your foot on the gas pedal when bowling either one of these teams.
Senior out of Great Bend, Kansas, Paige Wagner gets a little bit of love. That'll help. 8 down and a very makeable spare shot coming.
Missed way left of target on that shot. Still have to have a little bit of angle, get that ball just slightly to the right, about 8-9 down lane. She missed way left on that shot, just left herself 3-6. She'll change to her spare ball.
This young lady, the lone senior on the roster, was pretty under-recruited. Holly says her game is so simple, repeats so well. She's very present, extremely calm, doesn't get too high or too low. You gotta have that in moments like this. Paige delivers. And even has a little fun.
Absolutely. All the cheers are kind of cute. I like it. It lightens the mood. And that was one of their, no, I have to think of it. But they said they wanted to keep the mood light. That was one of their keys to success.
Annalise O'Brien fueling that Gamecock momentum. How about 6 in a row for JSU?
Annalise O'Brien, another one during the season, not in the lineup all the time, which is shocking. But here's the key. When you have a lineup that's so deep, I mean, who do you play, right? When you have probably 8-9 bowlers that are in the pocket and have great ball reaction. But she worked on her game just a little bit, and right here, looking rock solid.
Alicia Oden out of Council Bluffs, Iowa. Was injured last year for the most part. Didn't play a lot till late February or early March, and then went on an absolute tear. Had her true breakout at the Conference USA tournament last year, and has turned herself into one of the premier players in collegiate bowling. No questions asked. I need Alicia to give that team a little boost. Any mark here for Gianna. Wins this game for JSU. That'll do it. Gianna Brandolino and Jacksonville State will bowl out here in the 10th, but they've taken a 2-1 lead in this national championship tilt. Hard to keep your head in it after you know the result, still have some shots to play.
She looked like she missed that one just a little bit, didn't really get the rotation that she wanted. Prime opportunity, can't make, that spare's really not makeable. Try a different ball, see if it gives you something else.
You know, it's funny. I talked to her yesterday, and she is so sweet. She's so quiet. She's got this very humble, kind of happy-go-lucky demeanor about her, but when she's in between the lanes, that kid is fierce. Was able to catch one. Brandolino has a way and has done so on a huge stage as a 17-year-old young lady on, you know, big national television, beating professional competitors. She has a monster future. National player and national rookie of the year. Brandolino knocks over 9 to polish off JSU's third game with a 240. So 240 to 196, our final in game 3. Jacksonville State's first lead in this national championship match. Finest young ladies in the country descended on Cleveland here this week, and we've got a great national championship match going. Jacksonville State, the #1 team in the country, has won each of the last 2 games to take a 2-1 lead. As we look at our first team All-America list, Carolyn, these are 2 programs that had extremely high expectations coming into the season. And if you're JSU, I mean, you had 4 kids that achieved at an incredible level. And as I said earlier, Emma Yoder was right there too.
Absolutely, along with Alicia Oden. I mean, my goodness, Abaganya, Brandolino, O'Brien, Klemenchik. Let me tell you, all Team USA members too, as we're going down that list. So again, a lot of experience before they came to college.
Junior Team USA, and in JSU's case, 3 young ladies on Adult Team USA as Ashton Woods fires the first shot, knocks over 9. Worth mentioning that Woods and Seta Duque, both second-team All-Americans this year. Paige Wagner was honorable mention for the 2nd year in a row. There's a lot of All-Americans on that black and gold roster too. All right, Erin Klemenchik trying to get the Gamecocks off to a good start. Here in game 4, and she delivers right on cue.
Playing the lanes a little bit straighter. Creeping into that 12, 13, 14 area. Smooth ball reaction. Great lane read. Ashton picking up the spare.
Interested to see how Wichita State responds here. They got off to the good start, taking game 1. They bowled okay in game 2, but came up short, and in game 3 got away from them a bit. Big deep breath from Morgan Klein. Delivery on the way, looking good, and it converts. A perfect strike for the Shockers.
I like how she's accelerating through her shot at the line right here, acceleration. The only time Morgan gets into a little trouble is when she decelerates to the line, and I think that's one of the things she was working on that practice pair earlier. And right now she has been rock solid and very aggressive through her shots.
All right, time for Emma Yoder. Bingo! Emma Yoder, the pride of Tri-Way High School, delivers again.
Got that ball a little left to target, but has some hook there on the left. Ball rolls up nicely. High flush.
Emma Yoder led the charge in the Final Four opener against these Shockers with a 269 with 10 strikes and 2 single pin spares. She has brought her best stuff here to Cleveland.
There's one of the shots by Paige. So missed a little left to target, got around it just a little bit, but a little bit slower ball speed, ball picks up high through the pocket. That's why I said the ball speed management this week I thought was important if you didn't do with surface on the ball. Right here, she's got a little smile there. I'm not sure she thought.
I think that was a little sarcastic.
She got that one in a little bit, but she has a lot of ball speed, so it held in the pocket.
That smile said, I got caught with my hand in the cookie jar.
Correct.
Wichita State converts a second spare in these first 3 frames. All right, coming up next weekend, our crowning of champions will continue across collegiate sports. This will be a lot of fun. The Women's NCAA Gymnastics Championship. It's April 16th to the 18th down in Fort Worth, Texas. And the men will hit the mats in Champaign, Illinois, April 17th and 18th. More info on how to follow all of the NCAA championships, you can head over to ncaa.com. Oklahoma Sooners is the #1 gymnastics team in the country, both the men's and women's side. Boomer Sooners, see if they can get it done here this coming weekend as Wichita State knocks over 9. O'Brien trying to make it 4 straight. Oh yeah,
wow,
gets a little wiggle on the 10.
That's the hit that we saw a lot of this weekend. Watch this hit right here. Watch how the pins fall. Looks like it's going to be high flush. It's kind of half pocket. 7 goes down, 10 is last and goes back. We saw them go forward as well this weekend. So definitely some strange, quirky pin carry.
Wichita State picks up a spare, and so as we start the 5th frame, Jack State leads by 31. Brilliant start here to game 4 for JSU. 3rd year as an NCAA program, 3rd straight national championship appearance for the Gamecocks. 2nd year as an NCAA program for Wichita. This one fires, catches the nose of the head pin. Tough split. Gianna Brandolino. Let it fly. Oh my goodness. come on. 7-10 for Brandolino.
Well, we just saw 7-10 go down for Annalise. 7-10 stands. Half pocket hit. It's got a bad break.
Wichita knocks over 2, picks up 8 in the 5th. They've got an open frame here that will hurt their cause as Brandolino tries to make a little magic happen. Does she have it in it? No. All right, so Gianna with what everybody else is thinking. Ah, come on. 5 down, 5 to go here in the 4th. JSU in cruise control. Shockers took the opening game in this national championship final, but it's been all Gamecocks since then. JSU taking games 2 and 3 and a fairly comfortable lead, Carolyn, halfway through the 4th.
And one of the things is coming out of the break, you want to make sure that you still keep your ball speed up. You want to be aggressive through that shot. It's kind of hard to wait sometimes, you know, especially with the nerves and you're really excited. So you just got to make sure that you are aggressive through the shot, which great shot. Caught that one. Really got around that one. Leaving yourself the 4-pin.
Aaron Klemensic will fire here for Jack State. Number 2026 Junior Team USA. Number 5 player in the NTCA Player Composite Performance Index. Aaron makes a decent looking shot. It's a little bit of a break. Knocks them all down.
Tripping the 4-9, both in a different direction.
Meanwhile, Ashton Woods, such a wonderful story, doing what she always dreamed of. She overcooks that one to the left. This is a young lady who, in 8th grade, wrote a letter to her future self saying, I want to bowl for Wichita State. And maybe hasn't quite had the performance tonight that she was hoping for, but she's got to dig down deep because she's leading off for them.
So very unlike Ashton, she's a very good spare shooter, but that's just a mental error. She's going to walk around, walk that off. Right here you see Brian O'Keefe. They're talking lane strategy right there. And that's one of the reasons, again, that things happen and that communication is so important from player to player so that you can then relate it back to the coach. So you want to make a good, obviously, a good, change on the lane or to equipment based on that feedback and that information.
A little frustrating there for Morgan Klein, who hits the pocket a bit low and knocks down 6. Wichita State right now feels like they're kind of trudging along. This 4th game has not been good. Jacksonville State, they have a way when they have their foot on somebody's throat, they just don't let off. As Emma Yoder looks to try and amplify that pain.
She missed way left on that shot. She got that ball out to the 2 board. A lot of hook in that spot. Went high, left herself spare.
Klein gets the job done. Well done. Spares matter in the national championship final, even if they don't necessarily start great. Figure out a way to get it done. Yoder going to try to match her. Oh boy.
Leaves herself the 2-4 and shot at it with her strike ball, and it went in the gutter. I'm not sure what happened there. Just a bad shot. I mean, just a mistake. There's nothing else you can say about that. It just was a mistake.
It's a serious gift for the Shockers as Paige Wagner going to try to kick the door down while it's open. Paige does what she can, leaves a ringing 10.
Great shot, kept that ball just a little more in front of her and a little bit to the right. Leaves herself a ring 10.
Caitlin Stull. 2 older sisters at Bolden College. All about this big stage. And Kate now, the pride of the Stull family, going to try to take a national title to her family home back in Raleigh. She rolls home her 6th strike of the night.
Pretty impressive. She's working through some injuries. As you can see, she's a little taped up. Bowled great all weekend and looks super strong tonight.
Single pin spare conversion there for Paige. By the way, happy birthday to Kate. Turned 19 years old yesterday. So she can start year number 20 with a bang. Annalise O'Brien steps in. She will fire for JSU next. First, Alicia Oden. Feeling like a big moment. Oden tries to collect herself.
Great shots here, Big Al. You got this. You make great shots, Big Al. You got this.
Alicia. Oh, yeah! Shockers desperately needed it.
Foundation frame, rock solid, setting it up for the 10th. 191 max score for Wichita.
O'Brien, 5 of her 7 shots have been strikes tonight. Oh my goodness.
Coming in just a little light, leaving the 2-pin. A mark here and a mark in the 10th will shut Wichita out.
Kind of a weird miss for O'Brien, who doesn't usually leave that 2-pin.
She missed in just a little bit. And again, we were talking about that middle part of the lane with this new lane oil, that glide. It actually gets the ball down the lane just a little bit further. Again, pattern has held up very well. I liked it. I really did. I thought the pattern held up. I thought it gave a lot of different styles. A great way to play the lanes, you know what I mean? You just kind of chose where you were most comfortable. So it was fair to me, very fair.
Wichita State. Well, this 4th game has gotten away from the Shockers, who suddenly are going to feel that their season is on the brink. As long as Brandolino marks, Jacksonville State will take a 3-1 lead. At least good enough. So JSU, even on a shot that wasn't her best, Jacksonville State officially puts Wichita State on notice. Santa Duque gets it done.
And Gianna's shot was a good example of when you got that ball too far to the right down lane, especially with the ball that didn't have a little surface on it, it just didn't recover.
Conversation here between Mark Lewis, of course, head coach Holly, and setup. Trying to figure out what adjustments they can make with Jacksonville State right now in the driver's seat. Wow, that was weird. How did it only hit one of those 3?
Well, she just missed left. She shot at it with her spare ball. Still enough to win. Mark Lewis, 28 years. Oh my God, I remember. It's just amazing. The years go by so fast. Just 28 years with the bowling program at Wichita State. It's just an amazing feat. It really is. Much better shot. Maybe the 7-10, but that was a much better shot. She had been missing a little left. Could have been a ball change too.
So 185, 169. Shannon O'Keefe pleading with her team, stay locked in the moment. You're 1 game away from winning a national title in 2026. Jack State Gamecocks, 1 win away from a national championship for the 2nd time the last 3 years. Wichita State has to muster up anything it can to try and get in JSU's way. We've got lineup changes for the Shockers. Erin Klemencic will fire away first for Jack State, as she has throughout the night. She's been a great leadoff for the red and black. Erin starts game 5 with a decent shot. Knocks over 9, leaves a ringing 10.
Coming in just a little light.
Here is
a 10-pin.
Bo Anderson, sophomore from Harrisburg, South Dakota. This young lady didn't even put shoes on in the Final Four last year. Didn't play at all. And she worked her tail off over the summer to be a part of this thing for the Shockers. We're going to turn to her out of the leadoff spot here.
Yep, change the lineup up a little bit. You're down, 3-1, changing it up. When one of your players doesn't look super comfortable, time to bring somebody else in. It's crunch time. if Jack State wins, they win the championship. So they made some changes. I think it was a good call. Sometimes it's just, you know, you're off. You can't help it. So we'll see if it works in their favor.
So Bo in the first frame, able to knock home a spare. The rest of the lineup for Wichita, Paige Wagner moves from the third. She'll now bowl second. Then Klein, Seta Duque, and Alicia. Emma Yoder steps in here for Jax. Emma tries to gather herself. Both teams spare the opening frame. 8 out of 10.
When she gets that ball way left, it just hooks right off that 1-2 board, goes high.
Here's Paige. She's bowled in the fourth, third, and second spots in the rotation. Want to give them a little love here. 9 out of 10 as she leaves the 7th.
Great shot, leaves yourself a 4 pin.
I beg your pardon, leaves the 4.
Oh, that's okay. There's 10 numbers.
Yoder cleans it up. Jacksonville State, and what they have done here in 2026 is pretty hard to wrap your head around. Paige Wagner does not go down without a fight.
Great spare. You know, one of the things I love that Holly said about the team was, you know, they were still new to NCAA last year.
Right.
So they kind of learned some stuff as to when they went back. How do we train? How do we prepare? You know, what should we do differently? And it was kind of like a learning experience.
Totally.
And, you know, they've obviously made the right choices because
Kate Stoll gets it done. Injects some life into that Jack State huddle. Gamecocks are feeling it right now. Big chance for Morgan Klein. Just to piggyback on what you said, I mean, there's so much tradition and history for Wichita State, but there's something to be said about being in the NCAA and trying to win your first NCAA national championship. This squad's been so good this year. 9 out of 10 drop.
I loved the rotation off her hand. Missed a little left. Ball speed was a little bit slow. That's something that she works on, but gets the break and leaves the 4 pin. Ball picks up. Almost the 4-9, but leaves the 4 pin. She'll change to her spare ball. Go straight. Shoot straight at it.
Deep breath for Miss Klein. By the way, the PWBA is coming here later in August. So for folks that are local, in particular here in Cleveland, August 11th to the 18th, they'll see some of the best on tour. Connects. 3 straight spares for Wichita here in Game 5. Jacksonville State tries to take a big lead behind a youth bowling Hall of Famer in the state of Georgia, Annalise O'Brien. Back toward the pocket, but leaves a tough spare coming.
She looked like she threw that one just a little bit harder. Didn't pick up in the right spot. We saw a lot of that over the weekend when you threw it just a little hard and it went through the middle part of the lane. We saw a lot of 2-4-8-10s, 2-8-10s, 2-10s, 7-10s. Just that little bit.
Seta Duque in the net. Walks in, lets it go. Hits the head pin 2 square.
She didn't like that either. You could see, you know, she's shaking her head a little bit there. She's just been missing left of target. She needs to make the move. Balls, besides missing left, there's that spot where if you don't have the ball, so again, managing it. A little bit too hard, ball doesn't pick up. A little too soft, picking up too much. So I think she just needs to make that little bit of a bump to the left.
Well, she left the big 4 and couldn't quite get all of them home. And as we go into this fifth frame, Wichita State feeling like they need some serious juice. Jack State has not been at its best here through these first four. They also coming off an open frame. Only got one strike for either team in game 5. Randolino settles into the spotlight. #1 player in America. Hit it! Hit it! Oh, the 10 doesn't fall.
Those went this weekend, I'm telling you. It happened a lot. But coming in just a little light, leaves yourself the 10 pin, and right now, match is close. It's 3 pins. You want to just keep making good shots and throw those frames, throw in that double or triple.
Somehow, Odin didn't get one to connect on that 7 pin.
I wish that happened earlier. I like her and all. I'm just saying.
Wichita State had a heck of a morning. Knocked out the Vanderbilt Commodores. Alicia. Oh, yeah. So both teams right now trying to grind their way through game 5. Jacksonville State maybe only 5 frames away from a national title. National Championship trophy on the backdrop of the gorgeous Art Museum here in Cleveland. Is it going to head to Jacksonville, Alabama? Jack State 3, Wichita State 1, midway through the 5th game, with the Gamecocks out front by just a few 4 points. Here we go, 6th frame, Aaron Klemensick leading things off. Fires it down. Second time we've seen that here in just the last few minutes.
Right here you're seeing, again, lanes are always transitioning. You just have to make sure that you're ahead of that transition. What a great shot.
Bo Anderson with their teammates loving every minute of it. Big moment for Bo.
Erin's been keeping the ball a little bit more in front of her. Got that one a little bit right and down the lane. Did not quite recover.
Neither team has been at its sharpest here in game 5.
Gonna try to slide that back over. Gets the 3.
So Wichita State now leads by 11 after the 6th. Flips the pressure to Emma Yoder. Anna O'Keefe with that little wry smile standing in the background. See if Emma can convert. A young lady who grew up not terribly far away from this alley, just about 90 minutes away. Lets it go. Hits! Jacksonville State strikes in the 7th.
Much straighter in front of her. Great shot, great move on the lane.
Paige Wagner with a big answer.
Paige comes through with the double.
Both teams got to dig down deep. Everything at stake. Caitlin Stull. Trying to find that adrenaline, calm it. Lock in with your energy. Stull on the way. JSU cannot get a messenger over to that 10 pin.
Another great shot. Leaving the flat 10.
Wichita State, man, do they want to make this hurt. Morgan Klein. She's had a nice showing here at this Final Four weekend, and certainly again tonight. Morgan Klein, oh yeah! Wichita State! A turkey here in the 5th.
Great shots by Morgan. She has really set the bowlers up. Foundation frame coming up.
Stull finishes the spare in the 8th. Wichita State backs against the wall, and their response has been brilliant. First, Annalise O'Brien. She has settled her way in that 4th and 9th frame all night. Gotta have it. Perfect. Great shot for the Gamecocks.
Good shot by Annalise to set the 10th frame up. And I believe we have a ball change. Something with a little bit less surface.
Sada Duque does make a change. See if it works for her. Hanging on. Oh my goodness. Can't leave openings like that.
Way left of target. She hit about 14, 15 at the arrows. Ball just cuts right through the head pin, leaving the 3, 6, 7, 10. Changing to her spare ball, trying to send the pins across to take out the 7.
And a good effort. That did not work. In an open frame, if you give this kid an inch, she takes a mile. Gianna Brandolino. Absolute dynamite after her opening shot of the night went awry. JSU pinning the ropes on her. Yes!
Oh, there's
Wiggles its way to the 10th.
There's the unique hit that's been famous in the building this weekend. 7-10 up. Nope, 7 down, 10 down. Right here, coming in light. Oh, the bottom of the pin hits the 7 and rolls. A pin rolls across the deck, takes out the 10.
Alicia Oden and Wichita State need a double here in the 10th to take game 5. Shockers saying a prayer. Gets the first one.
That's what she's been doing all weekend, is stepping up and making key shots to keep Wichita State in the game.
Everything riding on every shot late. Brandolino hits the pocket right on the money. Knock them all down.
That's the reason she's in the 5th position. They are matching shot for shot right now. This is what championship bowling is all about.
The absolute best. Can you rise to the occasion? Wichita State. No margin for error.
Do it!
Oden into the left pocket and missed the 7 pin. Oh no. Gianna Brandolino. She needs 4 pins. Brandolino! Yes! The Gamecocks are back on top!
Fantastic shots by Gianna, as always in the 10th, but a great shot also from Wichita State. What a great match. That was boy, both teams battled. Great weekend with Jack State coming ahead.
How about those Gamecocks? For the 2nd time in 3 years, the national championship trophy is going home to Jacksonville, Alabama. An absolute storybook ending to perhaps one of the all-time great seasons in the history of women's collegiate bowling. Jacksonville State University is our 2026 national champions. Carolyn Doran-Ballard standing by with Shannon O'Keefe and company over lane side. Carolyn?
Okay, I am here with Erin Klemenchik. Okay, sorry, I said that wrong. Erin, I call you the steady Eddie of this team. You are a great leadoff bowler, always giving a great lane read to your team. What is the key to that?
Honestly, just like my coach is behind me helping me with my moves, but my team supporting me, so it just gives me the most confidence that I know when I go up there, no matter what happens, I'm going to give my team the best read or we're going to learn.
You never seem nervous. I mean, I don't know if you are, and I'd like to know, honestly, because you always seem so calm and cool, and I know you guys do a lot of mental training. How does that play into your shot making?
I think, I don't know, sometimes I'm nervous, but I feel like just the practice and repetition that we get, it just really helps, like, go up there. It's like, okay, I've done this before, let's just keep doing it.
I love that because, Shannon, 2 out of 3 years, one of the best women bowlers ever. You've talked a lot about we've practiced, we know, we're ready, we're prepared. Talk a little bit about that.
I'm a really big proponent that if you work hard and you practice hard, then that breeds confidence. If you're feeling nervous, in my opinion, you haven't trusted in your training. And so we're really big on trust in your training, be confident in what you're doing, what you're learning, and what you're putting out there.
I may be putting you on the spot on this one, but with all of your success, what is one of the keys that you try to instill in these ladies?
Staying present and staying focused on the shot at hand, and then just executing and being disciplined. All those things are really, really big. And if you can stay focused, the last thing I said to them before that last game was stay present. Don't let your mind drift. And we had a couple not great shots in there that ended with opens, but they were able to stay present all the way to the end. And so that is a really big key and something that I'm really big on.
Okay, you bowled a powerhouse in bowling, Wichita State. I mean, it's synonymous with the world of bowling. But now, first McKendree, now Jack State. I mean, it's legendary. How does that feel?
I don't even know how to take that word when it comes to what Brian and I are doing. We're so grateful to the girls that say yes to us. All the girls that have said yes to us before, that believe in us, that believe in what we're doing, and want to be a part of something special. And God is good.
Love it. Erin, how does it feel to be part of something that is setting the course for extraordinary?
I don't even know. I have no words. This is just incredible. It hasn't really even sunk in yet. I mean, last year we were here. It was great. I mean, but this is even better. So just to deal with this team is incredible.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again. Great bowling all weekend. Back to you, Brendan.
What an incredible accomplishment. Shannon O'Keefe, the former softball star, turned amazing bowler, and now one of the great head coaches. She has guided her program to a second title in the last 3 years. More to come in Cleveland. Well, a night that Gamecock fans will never, ever forget. Jacksonville State is the national champion. And they did it in come-from-behind fashion after dropping the first game in this best-of-7 to the Shockers and then rolling the rest of the way with really impressive performances and just true grit and gutsiness from JSU. We're about to have the championship trophy presentation. They will also recognize the NCAA championship all-tournament team, so that's coming up here momentarily. We already heard from Erin Klemenchik from Jack State, who is the 2026 most valuable bowler, but her teammates Gianna Brandolino and Caitlin Stull both named to the all-tournament team as well. From Wichita State, Alicia Oden, who was brilliant, and again, if you missed it earlier, she bowled a 300 yesterday in the Final Four and was just magnificent as they recognize Miss Oden here right now. And Avery Duligan from Vanderbilt was also on the all-tournament team. Present. This is Caitlin Stull. Gianna Brandolino. Also on their way up. There's Gianna.
And from Jacksonville State, Caitlin Stull.
Caitlin Stull and Erin Klemenchik both taking center stage alongside Gianna.
And in
Getting ready to raise
2026
that national championship trophy. How about that? 2 freshmen in the all-tournament team. As Erin just realized she was named the Most Valuable Bowler. That's a great reaction. Congratulations to Aaron. A big thank you, too, by the way, to the folks here at Yorktown Lanes in Parma Heights. This was a first-class weekend, an outstanding event. The Cottrell family has owned this since it opened in 1960, and they did a terrific job here this weekend. What a tournament. Congratulations, great season to Wichita State, Arkansas State, and Vanderbilt, who were all a big part of this weekend. But everybody was chasing Jacksonville State all season long. They were the #1 team in the country, every single poll in the NCAA. This program is here to stay. A changing of the guard, perhaps, with 2 titles in the last 3 years. No doubt about it, right now, the queens of Division I, II, and III bowling play in Jacksonville, Alabama. Well, thanks for watching here this evening in Cleveland. Of course, this has been a presentation of ESPN. For Carolyn Doran Ballard and the rest of our entire crew, I'm Brendan Gulick. Want to bid you good night here from Yorktown Lanes. Jacksonville State, this team is unbelievable, and they're taking some hardware back to JSU. Gianna Brandolino, Annalise O'Brien, Emma Yoder, Caitlin Stull, and Aaron Klemensick bowled their way to national championship glory. The Jacksonville State Gamecocks. All glory to the Gamecocks. They are your 2026 national champions.